What is up, guys? Coach Al here from UnleashFIT. So as upon request, this is my first workout video, so don't bear with me. In this one, I'm doing just chest and a little bit of biceps and triceps. So I do love to incorporate this rotation or rotator machine. Not many gyms has it, and if they do, apply on it. Very, very important for your shoulders. Hip rotation walk. Anytime that I do upper body or lower body, I do incorporate this type of exercises in my warm up. This is my this is what I do every day, no matter what. Very, very important. Knowing, letting your body know to move different type of directions. Walking kickbacks. I do keep a little bit of a static stretching, but I always keep it more as an active stretching. So moving, I prefer more than just static stretching, right? Especially before working out. Right after that, I'll do side lunges too. Side lunges is very, 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 very critical for me. It's something that I love doing it. When it comes down to rotation tap, I do incorporate this a lot more because I do have scoliosis. So for me, having my vertebrae being as flexible as possible is very, very important because of all the symptoms or the situation that I have. Chest stretch, I do incorporate a little bit more just because I'm about to be more active more on my chest. So I do incorporate about 3 to 5 seconds per side, about 2 to 3 times. Yeah, about three times probably. And I do incorporate also to my biceps. Okay, my bicep stretch. I've been encountering a lot more with my grips. If you have you constantly gripping stuff, this is very, very, very effective work stretch. And again, I don't apply too much into it. Probably 2 to 3 seconds per side. Now my lats and my triceps are pretty tight, so this is an exercise, or this is more like a stretch that I do like. And just increasing that range of motion. Go easy on it when it comes down to active stretching compared to static stretching. You don't want to overstretch it and hurt yourself. So especially before working out, that's something you want to do. Your body is cold, so you want to make sure that you're getting it ready for it. There's certain situations why you should stretch as much as I'm stretching now. Back stretch, I love doing this one. It stretches from my lower back all the way up. It's very, very effective. It's very, it helps me more on my lats. I do have a wide back more than anything else, and you know, stretching my back is a lot more. It's better and more effective than just my chest. Rotator cuff stretch. I do this movement because I need to increase the range of motion of my shoulders. And the reason that is because, again, I have scoliosis. Having scoliosis for me, it is very, very, uh, not disturbing, but more difficult on my shoulders. One shoulder specifically, on my right shoulder, because my shoulder mobility is a little bit tighter because of that, right? So my shoulder tends to go a little bit more forward than anything else. So range of motion on my shoulders is very, very important. So I'll do some half moons, I'll do some W's, just to incorporate that. If you encounter like a low arch there, like your lower back is arching a lot more, it's okay to have like a normal arch. Just don't overdo it, right? Don't let your stomach fully pop out. Then I'll finish it off with some neck stretches. Super important also, again, super, super, super important. Our necks are usually designed to move everywhere, but since we are designed also to move forward, our front neck muscles, the scalenes, tend to get really, really tight. So knowing your body that you're going to be active is good. I'll do a pull-up, push-up, and squat tricep as a warm-up. This is what I do when I do upper body or lower body, no matter what. So I'll incorporate more reps on the muscle that I'm going to be using more. So for example, if I'm doing chest that day, I'm going to be incorporating more reps on my chest press or my push-ups than on my squats or my pull-ups. I was struggling with my pull-up there because of my hand, my right side. It was kind of like bothering me. It is very, very early when I made this video. It was like 6 a.m. So I'm not a morning person when it comes down to training, just because I get home really late. So I was not in the greatest mood. I was kind of a little bit more like, all right, let's focus and engage and really kill the workout, right? I do have I'm doing a push-up, power push-up there a little bit, just again because I'm going to do chest. So I incorporate my chest muscles a lot more than anything else before I engage into my workout. So I'll do it about 4 sets, whether I'm doing legs, whether I'm doing back, or whether I'm doing chest. Then after that, I engage into my workout. And this one, I start with flat bench, dumbbell, chest press. For since I injured my shoulder, I've been applying more on the dumbbell exercise, sometimes cable, or maybe very few times machines. I've been staying away from barbell because of the mobility on my shoulder on my right side. I don't have too much range of motion on that, and again, that is because it's caused because of my scoliosis, and it's something that now that I know, I try to incorporate more strength on both sides. I have full control of 100% strength on both sides. With the barbell, it's not something like that. You tend to spread the strength on either your left side, and then or your right side will compensate. So really, when you have these type of problems like I do, dumbbell, cable, and maybe isometric machines are the best way to go, especially if you want to perform at a high level, right? I'm not saying you can't do chest press with a barbell. I wouldn't advise you to go too heavy. I mean, I don't go too heavy on a barbell. I'll probably do 185 if so, but still, the amount of focus to do that movement, it's a lot more than just the dumbbell, right? What I do also too here is I don't lock my shoulders. I mean my elbows, and also I don't put the dumbbells together. I believe that chest press is just technically just pushing up your chest. I don't necessarily, and I tell this to all my clients, you don't necessarily have to bring the dumbbells together. I think that's extra work for your shoulders, especially as the weight gets heavier. But like I said, you watch it on videos and people do it, so sometimes you're gonna tend to go to that route also. Again, this is a workout that usually I focus just on myself. I don't think about anyone else or what other people are doing. I give 100% of what I'm doing, and that's it. So bear with me. Right after that, after 4 sets of flat bench, I will incorporate more on my incline press now. Right? When it comes down to my incline press, I'll put it to like a 45-degree level. I don't go higher than that because otherwise my shoulder will be incorporated more than anything else. So I try to focus on my upper chest as much as possible. Again, when it comes down to chest press or chest exercises or even chest workout, I've been staying away from it a little bit more just because of the fact or the problem that I've been encountering a lot more with my right shoulder being more engaged than anything else. So it does get a little tighter. And when you encounter that type of problem, sometimes that muscle or that movement is not something you want to do, right? Because it's going to get stronger. And I didn't want that. I was encountering a lot of problems with my right side. Now, as you can see, I'm struggling a lot with this weight, and it's very fairly light for me. One, I didn't have enough energy. Two, I was working out really like having depleted. I didn't eat anything. But those are excuses. But only I know that. So what do you do in cases like that? It is okay to go lighter. Just focus on the movement a little bit more, and really kind of like you need to give 100%. So if you can't give me 100% with 55 pounds, 65 pounds, go down to 55 or 45 and give me 100% in that position. As also you can realize there too, my right side is going higher than my left side. And maybe a lot of people don't notice that, but usually that will happen if you have more range of motion on one side than the other. Now, I don't have more range of motion with my right side. It's just that with the scoliosis that I have a 20-degree level on that. I'll make another video for that. But my shoulder will go forward a lot more, right? That red thing that I'm drinking is BCAAs. Again, I was very depleted on energy. So BCAAs is kind of something that I take when I'm working out on an empty stomach. If I have a meal before that, I don't drink BCAAs. I'll just drink plain water. So yeah, I'll probably make another video about that too. Is it necessarily something that you want to be taking all the time? Nah, not really. But unless you change your diet and let's say you have to work out on empty stomach, then yeah, maybe sometimes, not all the time, right? So as I was really getting ready to struggle here, I did emphasize on my last workout. I went down a little quicker, which I shouldn't. That was my mistake. Usually, my last set, I'll focus more on mobility and I'll increase my reps on 12 to 15 because I want strength and endurance. I'll make another video about that. Yeah, it was a huge struggle. I was pretty pissed off about that, but um, you know, I knew that I was struggling. So it was something that I needed to fix, but take a breather and go at it again. And then that's it. I needed two more reps, and I stayed with the weight, and I focused, right. I try not to use my neck also, pushing the weight up. So I think that's very important. What I was using the most was my chest, and not a lot of people can do that, right? Completely focusing and isolating those muscles. So it's something that you might want to incorporate. Is a really good way to understanding and maximizing your, how your body reacts to that. So right after that, doing incline chest press, I'll follow with a decline press, right? Now, when it comes down to decline press, I do not use the barbell or dumbbells when it comes to it. I usually do the cables. Now, I only been doing this for this program, which has been only 6 weeks. So what I'll do is I'll isolate each side, about 10 reps each side, or even 6 reps sometimes, and then I'll combine them together. When it comes down to doing it in this machine, this particular machine, there's only one weight. So even though you're having two separate cables, the same amount of weight is being lifted. Now, there's certain machines out there that you can combine. The weight class is completely different. So like each cable will have their own set of weights. So if you're lifting 50, each arm will be lifting 50, right? So in this particular machine, if I put it on 50 pounds, then everything is gonna be 25, right? So after that, I'll finish with my compound movements, and I'll follow with single jointed exercises, right? Implementing more on the shoulders, closing out and really engaging those shoulders, not locking in the elbows, and really focusing on those chest flies, right? So this is to work out my underneath of the chest, right? So the lower chest muscles, right? Now you see that right there, that I am doing more reps on one side than the other, because one side it is a little weaker than the other, because of my scoliosis. Midsection over here, so usually is the front. Now where I lack here, I don't usually go too heavy on this, and the reason that is because on that side that I'm doing right now, my shoulder is actually a little bit more forward. So I try to retract the shoulders as much as possible and retract my neck also. A lot of people make this mistake, they're bringing the neck forward. So even though you're doing this motion, you're working out your chest, sometimes a lot of people bring their neck forward, so you're really working out the scallions also too, which is also attached to your chest muscles. So you want to kind of like incorporate retracting your shoulders and retracting also your neck, and focusing more on the chest um, muscles, right? Now the cable upper chest flies, I will do also lightweight, and even though I'm not really a big fan of this machine in particular, on this gym they didn't have the other cable and machines. Well, they were, I think, being used also too. So in this one, I don't go too high, right? So I incorporate as much as possible on the chest, and I bring it all the way up where I stop. Once you go to a certain height, your shoulders will work more than your chest. So you want to try to avoid that as much as possible. Even though it's a single jointed exercise, uh, shoulders will be implemented faster, and also your chest. So you don't want to go. You want to go with the limit range of motion. Um, so I'll do this 3 sets of each exercise for about 15 reps. I focus a lot on the motion. And then after that, I follow up with some triceps, right? Now, I don't in this program that I've been doing for the past 6 weeks, I don't do isolated or single jointed exercise too much. So I don't do too much too much triceps or biceps. But when I do like, one or two, 1 to 3 sets of about 10 to 12 repetitions, right? I engage as much as I can on that single joint or in that tricep. Now, in this one, I kind of slightly explain why I'm going forward now. I don't tend to go too much forward in it. I wasn't going that heavy. When it comes down to biceps, I've been doing more negatives than anything else, just because of the tendonitis that I've been encountering on my right side. Also, one of the reasons why I'm wearing what I'm wearing in that in this scene. So I'll go and incorporate more focus on bringing the weight down than bringing it up. And sometimes it's good to experiment with different type of motions, right? You have isolated, contracted, and extraction. I don't want to go too much into details with that, but people that know, negative is going up with the weight as fast as you can and then actually controlling bringing the weight down, right? So try not to move the shoulder too much and your focus is on your elbows. So that's what I do, and hopefully you guys can like this, okay? Um, this is kind of like my workout, so it takes about an hour and 15 minutes with all the warm up and everything. So, like and subscribe, guys. Let me know feedback if this was informative enough, and I'll check you guys later and enjoy the rest of your week.